What's up, YouTube? I was having a conversation with somebody and I was like, you know what, man? Like, I kind of felt like it's fucked up for people to set up like cash apps and PayPal for people to give them donations. I kind of felt like that shit is wrong when I first started YouTube. What I've realized, though, honestly, is doing these videos is they're not easy to do, as far as, at least for me, because the shit I'm talking to you guys about, I have to relive that shit. I don't even really like talking about this shit, to be real with you guys. I really don't. There was a point in my life where I did talk about it, but then there was a point where I just stopped. I just didn't need to anymore. I just didn't need to be talking about this stuff. It just didn't do me any good at all. And I stopped. But what I've realized is if a person is on here giving you good content and they're not lying to you, then they need to get paid, because it's very time consuming dealing with any type of social media shit. I don't even like it, to be honest with you guys. Just dealing with people in the comments and all that type of shit, man, you know, and then having to pop off all these liars. Like, I don't want to have to even waste my time with these individuals, but it's mandatory that these fools get put on blast. It just can't be where I'm just like, yeah, these motherfuckers are fake, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, no, it just can't be that, man, or else I'm just as fake as they are, man. But I'm gonna jump into this one, man. I'm gonna go back to 1997 when this is probably the first time that somebody that I knew real well was murdered. Now, what happened is my boy Mark Matthew Moriarity, he was murdered on June 21st, 1997. It's a fucked up scenario because he had owed me like $350, and it had been like a couple of times he had came and seen me and not gave me everything that he owed me. So I'm like, well, damn, like, started to kind of wonder, like, what are you doing, you know, like. So I kind of snapped on him. It wasn't right away, but this was like, it was like a week or two of like just abnormal shit, and I'm like, damn, like. So I kind of got pissed off and I snapped on him. No, I didn't kind of get pissed off. I did get pissed off, man. And I snapped on him and was like, you got to get me my fucking money, man. And I put like a time limit on it or something to that effect. And I never did that to him before, or even probably even talk to him like that. So I know it kind of like, I didn't threaten him, but I know he took it as a threat. I know he felt that as a threat. And so he's like, fuck that. He didn't want to be in that situation. So anybody that owed him money, he started coming at them the same way. Maybe even worse. I don't know. Probably worse. So this little 15-year-old kid owed him some money. Harmless looking motherfucker, man. I'm like, never could have thought, never would you see this coming. So dude got to owe him money. His name was Terry Gould. So you guys can look this up, because you can't just be listening to these people's lies on here, man. Like, have something to go off of, man. Some fact to check. So dude says, yeah, Terry's like, yeah, I got your money, man. You can come get your money. So my boy's like, okay. It's like $200. It's like $200, but it started off as a $40 debt. And the kid kept making the mistake of being like, yeah, I'll have your money on Monday. Yeah, I'll have it on Monday. My boy be like, oh, you're going to have it on Monday? You sure? You're sure? You're positive? You know, how about you pick the day you're going to have it, man? You pick the day. And, yeah, I'm going to have it for sure. Okay, well, if you don't have it that day, you owe me double then. And they've already, like, sealed themselves into this. They're already in too deep because they already swore on this. It's a tactic that you use to fuck people over when they try and play with your money, man. So Terry ends up getting super taxed over just not keeping his word, man. So my boy goes over there to get his money, and the door's cracked open. He knocks on the door. Kid doesn't come to the door, so he walks in the house. Don't do this shit. He walks into Terry's house. He doesn't find him in the house. He's looking around for him. He makes it to his room. As he makes it to his room, Terry jumps out from somewhere and starts shooting him from behind with a 17-shot 22 rifle, like a tubular magazine, okay? The magazine is like the length of the barrel, and it runs along parallel. So, which is irrelevant. So he shoots him all 17 times, and he hits him in his femoral artery. If I probably didn't say that right, but the artery in your fucking leg that's up around your femur bone that if you get hit in, you'll bleed out, okay? So he got hit there, but I feel like, I don't know, man, but he was trying to hold the door shut, and dude shot him through the door. At some point, he kicked his way through the door, and shot my boy in the head, and then gun butted him. Tried to say it was a self-defense. Tried to get off on a second degree. Remember, my boy walked in the house. So he kills him with his senile father home, Terry's father's home. Kills him, and somehow his dad doesn't hear the gunshots. But at some point he discovers the body, and he calls the police, and he says, my son committed suicide. Because he was a little fucked up in the head kid, but you still wouldn't have thought he was capable of murder. He was just a little runt. But I guess maybe his dad must have knew more about him than I don't know why he called his son in for a suicide like that, because he definitely thought it was. He wasn't trying to cover it up. So his dad calls in a suicide. The police show up, and it's not his son. It's not Terry. It's my homie Mark. And by this time he's done now, and lot of blood, fucked up scenario. So Terry robs him. He robs him for all the money in his pocket, and he steals his car. And the car has these distinct Krager rims on it. It's like an 85 Camaro, like a V6 or something. And it's like red and gray, two-toned. They had a certain look to them back then. And but the rims always set the car apart, and I would know this car from anywhere. So dude robs him, takes all his shit, goes to the mall. Picks a female up first though. Picks some girl up. Brings her to the mall, trying to impress her, I guess. Like, your life is over for a while, kid. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, but so to make a long story short, he goes to the mall. I live at this time in like Crystal, which is like halfway between Minnetonka, where the mall is, and Mountain, where the murder happened. So I wake up that day and I start calling my boy, and his phone was like off or something like that. And I don't know if I thought that was abnormal or not. But I kept calling him. And as I'm driving from the New Hope to Mound, I stop at the mall. As I stop at the mall, I see his car. I see that car. I see them rims, and I'm like, oh, he must be at the mall. But it's really kind of early. It's fucking maybe like 11 o'clock or something. So I get out, and I know nothing about what's took place. I get out, and I start walking around the mall looking for my homie Mark. So I'm walking around the mall, and I don't see him nowhere. And I'm like, damn. Now, when I get back out of the mall, I don't remember if the car was still out there or not. It might have been gone. But what took place is is from the mall, Terry Gould went straight to the police station and turned himself in. So I'm thinking he must have seen me, but if I would have saw him, I wouldn't have done nothing to him because I didn't know. I might have asked him about the money that he owed him, but I wouldn't have done anything to him. I didn't know that he just killed him and took his car. That's why the car was parked out there. I didn't have a clue. So I'm assuming that this dude must have seen me, might have thought I was already on his heels, and probably in a short amount of time just figured out like, damn, I'm only safe with the police now. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? He could have ran out of state though. He wouldn't have never gotten far though. He was only 15 in a dead man's car, man. You're not going to get very far. So at some point, within a short amount of time, he turned himself into the police and just gave up, man. So I know he went from the mall to the police station. I know that, but I don't really know what made him do that. But I'm sure he saw me. The mall was not that big, man. And I'm sure when he's probably real shook, seeing somebody like me hours after you killed one of my homies was probably something he couldn't deal with. Mind you, he did not have any gun on him anymore. There's no way he had a rifle walking around in the mall. You know, like I said, it was a long rifle. So that's part one. I'm going to cut that off right here, you guys. I'm going to get into all the details of this shit and how it all went, but I don't really feel like going any further right now. So you guys are going to have to wait for a part two.